Hi everyone, welcome to the Whiteleyverse with me, Connor Whiteley, for another daily story with a chapter from one of my novellas. Before I start today's chapter, please remember to like, comment and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any new content, and the engagement really helps the Whiteleyverse with the YouTube algorithm. Also, if you want to buy this book and any of my other fiction, then they're all available from all major ebook retailers. You can order the paperback and hardback copies from Amazon, your local bookstore and local library if you requested. Also, if you want the AI generated audiobook, then you can get it from selected audiobook platforms and library systems like Kobo, Spotify, Barnes & Noble, Google Play, Baker & Taylor, Biblioteca and Overdrive. Now, here's today's chapter. I hope you enjoyed as much as I did writing it.
Chapter 2. Friday the 7th of July 2023. Canterbury, England. When Jase Craycraft went into the lobby of the little hotel he had booked away from the family in the center of Canterbury, he was so glad he knew about this perfect little hidden gem of a place. The lobby was perfectly built, with its small polished wooden walls that had paintings, articles, and photos of Canterbury through the centuries. It was such a perfectly stunning city with so many secrets that Jase loved. The thick blue carpet felt so springy under his black shoes, and the smell of lavender, jasmine, and honey was so delightful that Jase knew that he was going to have a great weekend here. It was going to be brilliant because he was finally having a chance to see his family again after studying away for so long, but if things got a little too much for him, then he could simply come back to this paradise of a small hotel and get some peace and quiet. Jase went over to the small wooden reception desk that was currently empty, but at least the huge computer was still on, so someone had to be about. There were accounts opened on the desk, and the little brass lamp lighting them up flickered a few times. It clearly had seen better days, but Jase really didn't mind. This place was nice, cheap, and it was a safe haven away from the family. Especially as they would all be asking what happened between him and his boyfriend. And Jase really didn't want to have to go through the very awkward excuses of that he didn't know what happened between them. They had met in the last year of sixth form when they were 17, they had both got to the same university and still loved each other, and then they got a wonderful flat together for the masters, and then they both just realized they didn't love each other anymore. And it wasn't like they hadn't tried everything first. They had tried to go out for dinner more often. They did their favorite thing together like bowling, hikes, and more, and they even tried couples therapy using a friend of Jase's that wanted some experience. None of it worked, and Jase couldn't blame his boyfriend. Michael was hot, young, and just flat out beautiful, but maybe he was right when he said that him and Jase just weren't made for relationships yet. Jase flat out disagreed, because all he wanted in the entire world was a boyfriend he could love, treasure, and just get to know. "Hello Jase darling, how are you?" a very tall woman asked with a beehive hairstyle as she got behind the desk. "Good, thanks. Is my room ready?" "Sure is, dear," the woman said. "And is Mr. Douglas Craycraft a relative of yours? It's a weird surname, and I didn't know if you wanted their room near or far away from you." Jase laughed. It was flat out wonderful that his slightly younger cousin was also coming here. He had to admit that Douglas had to be his favorite family member after his parents. Of course, Douglas was great, fun, and with him being the only other gay in the family, he was a great person to talk to about boy issues. "It's your choice. I would prefer them to have a room close to me, but I don't want to put you out," Jase said. "Don't be silly, dear. You are my favorite customer, and you must come down here more often," she said. "I'll give them the room next to you." Jase nodded his thanks. At least he could talk to Douglas about things that weren't sport, straight sex, or the hottest female celebrities like the rest of his brothers would want to talk about. And as much as Jase didn't want to admit it, he was really excited about this weekend. He got to see his great family, have fun, and have a dinner honoring the very special Grandma Craycraft. Jase still didn't know too much about her, but it was Grandma that made him feel safe enough to come out, and he was so glad that he did. He owed his entire life to Grandma Craycraft, so he wasn't going to miss this for the entire world. "Jase," someone shouted behind him. Jase turned around and suddenly found himself being hugged by Douglas, who looked great in his blue skin tight jeans, white crisp shirt, and black trainers. They were so much easier to drive in than shoes. Pure delight filled Jase. He was so looking forward to catching up with Douglas and learning everything about him over the past few years, and wow, just wow. Jase hadn't noticed the hottie walking in behind Douglas with his fit-as-fuck body, without a shred of fat on his tall, lean frame. And Jase absolutely loved his broad shoulders, skinny legs, and his perfectly handsome face. Jase had no idea who the hell he was, but he loved how the hottie's brown hair was seductively styled, parted to the right. His wonderful hair looked so soft, seductive, and long that all Jase wanted to do was run his fingers and kiss the man's hot, sexy lips that just looked so damn full and soft. Then he realized that if a hot man was coming with Douglas, then it was probably his boyfriend. Damn, Jase just kept focusing on how hot the man was, and it was going to be a painfully long weekend if that hottie really was Douglas's boyfriend. It was just a shame the hot boys were always taken.
Welcome back everyone, it's me again, Connor Whiteley. So I really hope that you enjoyed today's story, because I flat out love writing, creating stories and sharing them with you. If you really enjoyed today's story, then please remember to like, comment and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any new content, and the engagement really helps the Whiteleyverse with the YouTube algorithms. And if you want to buy this short story or any of my other fiction, then they're available from all major ebook retailers, and you can get them from your local library if you requested, and you can order the paperback copies from Amazon, your local bookstore or local library if you request it. Lastly, if you want to support the channel on a one-off basis, then you can now buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/Connor Whiteley. Also, if you know anyone who would enjoy today's story, then please share it with them. I'm always really grateful when you wonderful people help spread the word about the channel. So, thanks for watching the Whiteleyverse, and I'll see you again soon. Have a great day, everyone.